Welcome back to the channel, guys. It's Maz back again today with another video for you guys. Today we're going to go into the process of actually spraying the primer onto the body. So this video is going to be pretty short. All it's going to be is showing you how it looks now before primer and how it looks after the primer is applied. And then we'll move on in the next video, which will be, this will be part 6. Next video will be part 7. I know this is getting long. In part 7, I'll show you how I go through and do the sanding and whatnot on the body after it's primed. I won't actually probably show you sanding because nobody really wants to watch me rub a body with sandpaper nonstop. But like I said, this is part 6 of the hard body bodywork to the Club 5 race and the XJ. And we're going to take this thing and we're going to get it in some primer for you guys, and y'all are going to get to see it back in all white. I know this hasn't been very exciting because we're white, then we go to gray, then we're going back to white, and then we're going to paint it white. And I know it's a lot of white, but it just so happens that's how it worked out. That's what my 1-to-1 was. The body already came white. That's how they mold it, so I know the body doesn't look like it's changing a lot, but realistically it is changing. It's a big difference from where we were at the beginning to where we are now. Just go look at that part 1 video and look at how this body looked right out the box compared to what it is now. So let me get some of this primer sprayed on and I'll be back with you. So the first coat of primer is on. And as you can see, when I say it's a light coat, it's a light coat. You can still see how gray that is on the top. So very, very light coat for the first coat. This is a white primer. You can see the body is no longer that, it's still got a little bit of that off-white tone to it, but it's starting to get that bright white. So with that one light coat on there, I have a timer set for 10 minutes to let that coat tack up. I will get that second coat on there and we'll come back and we'll show you what it looks like after coat number 2. So we got the second coat of primer on, and we are just waiting our 10 minutes for it to tack up. Never hurts to have a burner phone, for that extra timer while I'm doing a video. Nah, I'm just joking, guys. But as you can see, this primer is starting to now cover up, and you'll notice, especially with white trying to cover anything darker is going to be tough. So as you can see, we still got quite a bit of gray up here. And what I did on that coat was I actually dusted it on this and all the bodywork spots first. Then went back and started on the back and worked my way back across the whole thing. And what that does is give you just a little added cover up for the gray. As you can see, this is our second coat, so it's probably going to take at least 3, I'm going to say 4, because I'm doing very light coats. I'm trying to build this up very thin. You can see all our lines are still very defined. Everything's really good on the body. So I'm going to let this tack up for the next 7 minutes, and I'm going to get the third coat on, and I'll be back. We are back with the third coat being applied, and this was more of a wet coat. I even got a little bit of a sag right here in the roof, which is perfectly fine. We're going to sand all this out. I was just trying to get a little bit extra laid on, but that's the one thing about this. You don't want to go overkill. You'd rather take a bunch of very light coats than a couple of really heavy coats. This one sag is so minor that you can barely see it unless you put it in the light. And that's kind of what told me, hey, that's wet enough, we'll move on. Don't get it to where it's running all down the side and all that stuff. You're going to have a bunch of problems. So if you see it getting wet enough that the paint's trying to sag down, or the primer that is trying to sag, stop where you're at, let it cure for another 10 minutes, and go back for another coat. You will get some little pieces of trash. I'm not spraying it in a spray booth or anything. This body's so big that if I try to put it in my little airbrush booth, it's going to take up the whole room, and I'm not going to have any room to work around it. So I may have to work something out with that with the clear, but that'll be for a later video anyway. So I'm going to put one more coat of this on, guys, after this video. But just wanted to show y'all the process. Like I said, I'm not perfect. I get a little sag right there. You know, no harm, no foul. A little bit of sandpaper after it cures, not going to hurt anything. You'll see the body work is pretty clean across the top, as you can see here. It takes a lot to cover up anything with white. Keep that in mind. That white really is tough to cover up. Gray or anything other than white. It's even tough to cover the white itself. So just think of this. If you got to the base coat, which meaning your paint color, and you haven't covered that gray up, you're going to fight that same battle with your base coat. It's not going to cover any better than this primer is. So you want to kind of get all the, you definitely want to get all this buried before you get to color stage. So like I said, it's not going to look like we're changing the body a whole lot because we're going from a white body in raw to white primer to white base coat. But once we start trimming everything and getting everything on there, it's going to really come to life. So as always, guys, tell me down in the comments if you like this kind of video. Like and subscribe to the channel. Turn that notification bell on. Tell me a joke down below. And until next time, guys, y'all have a good one.